What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we have more updates for you. These are good updates. As far as the $1,400 stimulus check, we have updates for you regarding the $600 second stimulus check update. We have updates regarding a possible hazard pay that is coming, and also the Social Security boost of $200 per month. Now, the last couple of days has been crazy. It's been wild. We've seen proposals that would provide additional stimulus to people with family members, people that have children from 0 to 17. We have also seen Joe Biden go back on his original promise of Social Security checks or bonuses to Social Security recipients. That's pretty big. And we have also seen Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer talk like they have no idea what the current Biden administration is actually doing. This is big. Now, let's jump into everything that we know regarding the $600 check, the $1,400 check, the hazard pay potentially coming, and also the $200 going to Social Security. So let's get going. What we now know is the $600 second stimulus checks, some of them are being delayed. This is about 2 to 3 million checks are currently being delayed. What we are hearing is Jackson Hewitt is expected to have all the stimulus checks that they were sent by mistake. They are supposed to have them transferred and forwarded over to the actual owners, and that could be you. So if you filed your tax return for 2019 with Jackson Hewitt, just understand you may be getting your stimulus check, and it will most likely come by February 1st. Understand that's very difficult to hear, being that's about 16, 17 days away, but we are hearing everybody, or at least the rightful owners, should have their stimulus checks by February 1st. So at least that's some good news. We're also hearing the physical checks and the prepaid debit cards are arriving. So that is great. So if you are not expecting a direct deposit, or maybe you were and it hasn't shown up yet, look in the mail, because you could be getting a physical check or a prepaid debit card. The IRS stated just the other day that just because you received a direct deposit last time does not necessarily mean you'll get a direct deposit this time, and vice versa. We are also hearing that adult dependents, and this is big, this is really big right here, that adult dependents that didn't get the $600 stimulus check, that second stimulus check that you were excluded from again, what we are hearing is if the Biden administration does do a $2,000 stimulus check amendment, they are going to include adult dependents. Here's the thing. All people that received a stimulus check of $600, the amendment would only provide them with an additional $1,400. Guess what? As an adult dependent who did not receive the initial $600, your amendment would not be entitled, you wouldn't be entitled to only $1,400. You'd be entitled to the full $2,000 for just this second stimulus check. You would not get anything for as far as retroactive or as far as the $1,200 stimulus check that we received back in April and May, but you would get $2,000 this time. So that is really good news. Instead of the $1,400, you would get a full $2,000. Again, that is absolutely great news. And I wanted to bring that to you because I know a lot of people are out there asking, well, I take care of my elderly parents, or I have a child in college, and we could really use this help. Well, I think that's what they're starting to see, is that they, by providing stimulus checks to only family members and children under the age of actually 16 and under, it's leaving out a bunch of people. It's leaving out millions and millions of people, and that's really hurting the economy. So I think they're finally seeing that what they did was wrong, and it left out too many, so they're trying to fix that. That is good. Now, in regards to that $1,400 stimulus check, let's answer some questions. Right now, this check is tied to a lot of other pieces of legislation. This includes rental assistance, food assistance, school funding, state and local government funding. This also includes vaccine distribution. It includes a $15 federal minimum wage, and there's so much more in there. But it's tied to all of this stuff. Additional unemployment benefits for 28 extra weeks at $400 per week and a bonus. Again, this is tied to everything. The Biden administration apparently doesn't want to do a standalone bill for the $1,400 stimulus check amendment. And because that bill has already been written, it's already there. It's just a simple, quick little bill. Here you go. This is what it is. I think it's like a 6-page bill. The House could easily pass it because even though they passed already, it actually expired with the 116th Congress. So the 117th Congress would have to bring it back, would have to pass it again. They could do this. And it could be a standalone bill. They kick it over to the Senate could pass it. But according to all reports, the Biden administration does not want to do this. And they don't want to do this because they want to see how many Republicans could get on board with this. Because as of right now, they do not want to do this because they are pretty much expecting a handful of Republicans will push for this. Will push for this $1,400 stimulus check amendment. If they do, this could be the Democrats' leverage to try and entice Republicans to go for that $15 federal minimum wage. Right now, what we are hearing is that Democrats are trying to pass a bipartisan stimulus package as opposed to going with that nuclear option of that 51 vote budget reconciliation. They have that in their tool belt, or according to Nancy Pelosi, would be in their quiver. But right now, here's what we know. The $15 federal minimum wage increase, that actually doesn't qualify for a budget reconciliation. Here's why. The federal government would not have to worry about this because this cost, which goes into the budget issue, this would be on the employer. So the employer takes up this. So the federal government doesn't have to worry about any budgetary issues. So because of that, and it doesn't fall within the federal budgetary responsibilities, this is the reason why the Biden administration is not pushing for a budget reconciliation, because they can't. They cannot do it at this point if they want to include a $15 federal minimum wage. My thinking at this point, and we haven't heard from him, but my thinking is Mitch McConnell knows this. Mitch McConnell's no idiot. He's no dummy. He hasn't made it this far and this long in the Senate as a leader by not knowing the rules. He knows the rules. So right now, that's what we're hearing. That this is going to possibly delay the stimulus negotiations and stimulus talks, or it could completely prevent any stimulus package from passing simply because Joe Biden and Democrats, they are pushing for a $15 federal minimum wage. This is one of the reasons why the federal minimum wage has been so low for so long, because it's not that easy to get this passed. If Democrats want to get it passed, they could easily get it passed through the House, but in order to get it passed through the Senate, you at least need 60 votes. It will not work for a budget reconciliation. So because of this, they don't have the votes. They only have 51. Also, I read a post on Facebook, from all places. I usually don't spend a lot of time on Facebook, but I read a post on Facebook from Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren. This was just a short time ago, but I want you to hear what she had to say. This could be big. Here's what she said. She said, this is her exact quote, "I carefully read President-elect Biden's America Rescue Plan. It's full of many things I've been fighting for. Hazard pay, rent and utility assistance, an eviction moratorium, extended and expanded unemployment, paid leave, a $15 minimum wage, an OSHA emergency temporary standard for COVID-19, and lots more." Okay, I want to break that down because she mentioned, the very first thing she mentioned, hazard pay. She's been fighting for hazard pay. Now, I read through all the reports, or all the reporters' lists of what was in this bill or proposal. Here's the thing. I did not see a single thing for hazard pay, but I am not a sitting U.S. Senator. I'm not somebody that has insights as to what is actually going on. I'm just a guy on YouTube. So, what I can tell you is there has to be something in the works for hazard pay. This has been something that Democrats have been fighting for. Nancy Pelosi has been pushing for this every time she talks. Every time she talks. Remember this. She says, sanitation, transportation, our teachers, our teachers, our teachers. Who do you think this hazard pay is going to go to? Those people that have been on the front lines, our heroes. Firefighters, police officers, people that do sanitation, transportation, and teachers. And teachers and teachers. That's who's going to get this. So, they could expand this to people that have worked in maybe in grocery stores, nurses, doctors, people like that. Now, if you just have a regular 9-to-5 job and you work at GameStop, I doubt you're going to get any type of hazard pay because you're not technically an essential worker. I think you're essential. I think everybody needed to play some video games in this horrible 2020 that we had, but that's just me. So we will see what happens there. But at this point, a lot of people could be receiving hazard pay. Again, that's if this bill passes. I just want to be 100% clear. At this point, this bill right now, it may not pass for a little while. I anticipate this is going to pass. But as far as that $15 federal minimum wage, I think that's going to be kicked out. I don't think that has a shot to getting passed, especially if Republicans have anything to say with this. And right now, Republicans are not going to go for a $15 federal minimum wage. They may accept something like a $10 federal minimum wage as long as it's phased in. But again, that's what negotiations are going to be for. So let's address that $200 per month for Social Security recipients, because I know a lot of you guys are asking about it, wondering, are we going to get it? What happened? What happened to Joe Biden's promise? What happened to this? We keep seeing this on his website. Well, if it's on his website and he doesn't do it, it's technically a lie, isn't it? I think if it's on his website, that means it came from his mouth. His campaign manager, his administration, they're the ones that did it. So here's what we know. I've been looking all across the internet to try to find more information about what is going on. I looked on Google, I looked on Facebook, looked on Twitter. Okay, I watched interview after interview after interview. Just in the past few days, I have probably watched at least, I'd say 12 to 15 hours of video trying to figure out what is really happening here. Are we going to see any movement? Here's what I know. At this point, reports indicate that the $200 per month Social Security bonus is missing from this stimulus package because there might be something tied to the next package, the package that's going to do with the infrastructure spending bill. That's where this help for people on Social Security will most likely come into play. The most likely scenario is this will not be a $200 per month bonus. You won't see an additional $2,400 at the end of the year. What you will most likely see is they will probably do something to make medications cheaper. But at the same time, I just want to say this, at the same time that these reports are kind of trickling in, not really coming in very quickly, but they're trickling in, we're getting a little bit insights as to what some Democrats are thinking. But other Democrats are saying that people on Social Security do not just need help for medications. Yes, medications are essential, but so is food. Many doctors say the right diet will help you to not take certain medications, which is true. So what we are hearing is that they are trying to get an additional set amount. Now, whether it's a set amount like $100 a month or $200, or a percentage on top of your Social Security benefits, right now you're getting additional 1.3% for COLA, the cost of living adjustment. However, that's not very much. Some Democrats are saying they want to push for their own proposal. And there is a proposal out there that would provide an additional 5%. So if you get $1,000, okay, if you get $1,000 per month stimulus check, or not stimulus check, Social Security benefit, you get an additional $50 on top of that. At the end of the year, you'd get a total of about $600. So it's not a lot, but it's something. And if they can do that in addition to making medications cheaper, that would benefit a lot of people. So right now, that's what we know there. But according to all reports, providing stimulus right now is not the real goal behind this package. Even though it's called a stimulus package, that's not the real goal. The goal from Joe Biden and his administration is actually just to open up the economy and do so by providing more vaccines. Now, here's what I can tell you. The stimulus package, if it gets delayed even 1 month, let me just put this into perspective for you. Right now, Joe Biden has made it his goal, his priority, to do 100 million vaccinations in 100 days. Here's the issue. he would need 1 million vaccinations every single day. Currently, we're about, I think, like 100,000 vaccinations per day. That was over the past 30 days. We're at a little over 3 million, I believe. So what I can tell you is that he would have to do 10 times what we are currently doing. And he would have to do that without additional funding. So if this stimulus package is delayed by just 1 month, let's say we don't see it till March, that's 40 days. That means he would be behind by 40 million vaccinations. So this could be a real issue. So right now, here's what I'm here to tell you. The faster this stimulus package gets agreed upon and passed, the more likely Joe Biden is and the Biden administration is to reaching their goal. I still think it's a very big goal. It's going to be tough to accomplish. But if they do not have additional funding, they do not have FEMA on board, it's going to be pretty much impossible. So I can tell you right now that negotiations for this bill are just beginning, and they will most likely continue for all of January and probably for a good amount of February. I expect we will continue to see this in February, and the soonest we will get a stimulus check, according to experts, as of right now, is early to the middle of March. That's not great, but at least it's coming. So, as I know more, I promise I'll come back and share more. Consider subscribing so I can continue to keep you updated on everything that's going on. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you guys on the next one.